Hi, I'm Bruce Pattinson from Total Education and welcome to another video in our Merchant of Venice series. It seems that setting is important in the Merchant of Venice only because it's the place where it happens. Venice in the old days was certainly a place where major trade occurred, and so the setting of the story is important in the fact that that's where the shipping was. Venice is certainly in the south of Italy. What we're going to do, instead of looking at me, we're going to go to Venice right now. There are two settings and you'll hear me talk about both those settings. The first one is Venice, and you'll see lots of pictures of Venice coming up. And the second one is Belmont. It's still in southern Italy and a little bit further inland, and I'll talk about that. Okay, so let's go to the pictures. Over half the Merchant of Venice is set in Venice. Of course, from the title, that would be obvious, but the rest is set in Belmont. At the time of writing The Merchant of Venice, Venice was renowned as a republic of great wealth. It was not necessarily part of Italy, it was a city-state in itself. So that's why you have lots of different textures and tones to the set that you wouldn't normally get now. It had its own art system, law system, as we see, social stability, and it was governance in its own right. It also had the reputation of giving foreigners full access to its courts, which wasn't always the case. We see later in the context, and we see later when I run down some of the other elements of the play, that it was unusual in those days for a Jew to be allowed access to the courts, and this is what makes the play important and the setting important in The Merchant of Venice. Shakespeare's audience would have expected Venice to be an affluent and sophisticated place. They would have not have been likely to accept the idea of a pound of flesh for someone's breaking a contract would have been allowed in Britain. It needed to be set somewhere outside of England for that certainly to work. We also see in a Venetian setting that seems reasonable, because even the Duke, everybody must accept the law in Venetian society, and they needed that law to be held strong because of the trade situation where they trade with various countries and they were a conduit for trade. In an English court, the judge would have thrown out the suggestion, but in Venice it's accepted, and it seems to be that they had the right to cut out another man's flesh. The Duke does not have any jurisdiction to deny Shylock what he wants. The other setting that we come across in Belmont, where Portia lives, is of course another city in southern Italy. The play says that Venice and Belmont are about 20 hours apart by horse and carriage, or coach, and the real Belmont is a city in the south of Italy. The play appears to be set at the time of it being written near the end of the 16th century. Hi, I'm back. I'm Bruce Pattinson, as you know from the start of the video. This is Total Education Centre, and we hope you enjoyed that video on setting. I hope you especially enjoyed those pictures of Venice. It's a wonderful city and a great place to be. Well, now you've seen context and you've seen setting and you've seen characters and themes and ideas. Next comes the video that you've been waiting for. Yes, the next video out will be on human experiences directly relevant to your HSC. I know that that's the one you all want, so stay tuned. It's coming.